Hi everyone, it's Nubian Sun Ra back with another video. And today I just want to go back over some things from my video that I posted early this morning about the children. I want to clarify some things even further. It's not the fact that the children are being bullied that is the major concept of what I was trying to say. That's just part of it. The main thing I was really just trying to say was whenever we have children that are bright and they are perfect the way they are, we should not categorize them as something that is something to be torn down because it's different. You know, a lot of times parents teach their children backwards about how life really is. They teach their children backwards, as in like how black parents will tell their children not to date white people. And in a 3D, that means one thing, and then in a spiritual realm, it's like, does it still apply? You know, we never really thought about like it applying to the spiritual realm also. So when our children look at each other, they might be the same skin color, but they notice because some children still have the ability to be able to see auras and things of that nature. So they might see like a lighter, angelic, spirited child, and they automatically assume all the sayings that we tell our children about white, you know. And I feel like we need to reteach them and teach them to not be conformative, because each child should be who they are. But a lot of times parents have their hand in the child rearing and how the child thinks and how the child reacts to certain situations. And I feel like maybe if we teach them how to be more considerate of the fact that there are children that may not look like them, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that you bully them. That doesn't mean that you feel inferior either. You know, I think a lot of times it's just the jealousy, because some children don't get to have a childhood because they're exposed to things at a very young age that they weren't really ready for. So when they come across a child that is being treated right at home, when I mean right as in having a childhood, that child is being respected at home, and then it gets to the schoolhouse and it's like children will be cruel to one another. So it's like a lot of times they don't want to go to school. So, and it leads to other things too. Not only the fact that they don't want to go to school. And if we teach them that they don't uh, have to feel inferior. That I feel like that's the most important part, because they do not understand that this child, even though it is is having that child is having a different experience than uh, what other children might experience, it doesn't mean that they have to um, pretty much treat the next child like, you know, like they're better than them, because that's what happens a lot of times. They will group up and they'll try to make the child that they feel inferior to feel inferior to them. And it's adding to the problem into society now today, because we destroy all the good things and then complain about the problems and situations that's going on in our community, and that's kind of backwards. And the children that could actually carry on goodness into the next generation, we destroy them before they even become adults. It's not all children, obviously, because, you know, some make it out. But it's percentages, you know. Maybe if we just think about saving our children's life and letting them live and keep their innocence, then maybe in our future we'll be able to have some change, because they will bring about change. Children are the future. And there's always allies. I feel like we don't always have a way of knowing if a person is a reliable ally or not, because people pretend so well. But when you have spiritual gifts, it's easy to use discernment. It's easy to look through people. And a lot of times, children have abilities in the spiritual. And as we get older, if we don't influence those things, they lose them. And they become indoctrinated with all the different programs of the system. So I know it doesn't sound favorable to certain parents because they think differently, but maybe, you know, slowly but surely, people will start to understand how important it is, and not to be selfish, and to actually do what's right for our future. I can't tell nobody what to do with their children, you know, but it just is a solution, you know, and a lot of times we have to make sacrifices to get some results. And that goes for either side of the spectrum. We made a lot of sacrifices to get where we are now with the government. And I feel like we should make sacrifices to clean up and do what is necessary. And I also feel as if, like, people that might be unequally yoked, might not believe in any type of God or whatever. I feel like when it comes to common interest, which is change, that these people might assist in a way as to being able to understand, just being able to understand the importance of a situation. And I'm not saying like everybody's going to think like this, but some people do change route and actually participate in what is good for the future for personal reasons. Sometimes people go through things that change their view on certain situations, not necessarily on if they believe if there's a God or not, but just like morals and principles, because you don't necessarily have to believe in a God to have morals and principles. I actually understand that perspective as well. And I just feel also that whenever we are teaching the children how to love themselves and how to treat people with integrity, like from the house, not letting the school teach them alone, because the school goes by a textbook. It's not really anything to feel. The teachers don't stop any children from being bullied. It starts from the home. And whenever we work from the inside out, that's when we get the best results. Like, me and my children will sit down and meditate together, and we say affirmations together. Teaching your children good habits, spending 10, 20 minutes with them and teaching them how to love themselves, how to, what people say, pray. We meditate and do affirmations. It's very important for their inner peace, because children go through things and they fight things as well. They are walking bodies, walking portals as well. So you must know that they fight entities, deities, good spirits, bad spirits. And if they don't have a proper outlet, they fall victim to a system that does not really care about their well-being. So we have to care. And it's hard when you're a parent and you're going through things on your own, but we have to pull through because we are responsible for the children, and the children are our future. So we have children, we bring them into this world, and so we have to do things that are necessary for them to be able to prosper. And that's very important. I don't mind making videos for adults that might not really understand and just now needing someone to explain what's happening and share experiences. Then it bring awareness. But with children, it's like they learn the easiest, basically. They are like sponges. They like take on everything, And we love to tell them like, oh, you don't have to do anything but go to school. You don't pay bills. You don't have to put food in the house, because I used to be one. Sometimes I really just sit there and think about like how like messed up it is that we tell our children that, but yet when their hearts are heavy, we don't have any answers for them. We don't have any sympathy for them to be able to let out their frustrations. So they go to school, they let their frustrations out on the kids that they feel like are weaker than them. And it's usually children that are special, not special needs per se. Usually that too, but special, as in anointed. And a lot of times we don't think about what that child might do to the point where it brings bad luck or like bad spirits inside of your home. And a lot of times people don't really believe in things like that. And so it just runs rampant. I feel like we should really consider on what we really believe in. Like a lot of people are religious and do not believe in evil spirits, but yet they are religious. And religion could go both ways. Like there's good and bad in it. It's just about your perspective. And we do not fully comprehend the facts of what we learn and what we actually are participating in whenever we are doing going to churches and things like that, because they definitely do believe in evil spirits in religion. And I just feel like it's weird to like be religious and they talk about evil spirits, but yet we don't do anything to combat that within ourselves in our home. And that's why, for me, it'll always be spirituality, even though a lot of people put a bad name on spirituality as well. It could go both ways. Spirituality can be used for good and evil, just like anything else. And I feel like it's time for us to return back to our selves, for one, and also return back to the original source, nature. And nature has natural laws and forces, just like how there's a universal language. A lot of people turn speaking with our hands something affiliated with evil. And babies do this naturally. They come out the womb doing it. So the truth exposes the lies. We have to stop teaching the lies to our children, because it's turning them against themselves whenever we don't tell them the truth and we feed them programmed lies. And it's a tradition. We do this often. And people think it's cool. Like it's made something cool. Like all the popular kids in school, I feel like were always the most programmed, because they actually had a mindset that was not really down to earth. in a way where they can look at the next student and see a person that's worthy of respect. Instead, they look at your shoes, your hair, your skin color, and they will disrespect you with no problem. No problem. You know, I feel like that's something that's very common, and it hasn't really stopped. It's like it's getting worse, a lot worse. And when you meet a lot of the parents, it's like it explains a lot. And I can't tell nobody, I'm going to say it again, I can't tell nobody what to do. I'm just giving solutions, you know, because when there's trouble, when there's crisis, people come together. Things have to change. And a lot of people don't like hearing the truth about what they should or could possibly do to be a part of the change. There are people that are committed to the government's way of living. And I feel as if they already counted themselves out, their bloodline, their children, sold their children out, you know, because I feel like once you refuse to even teach your child right from wrong, even if you decide to do wrong, and you just don't teach your child what's right, and they just never know, I feel like you setting them up for failure. But that's just my opinion. And yeah, I can't tell nobody what to do. I just feel like whenever the separation happens, it's something that's going to be very alarming to people who didn't really understand how important it is. Because now the people that will be blind, that are blind, they're now going to see that they are being misled. The government is going to make it clear they are being misled. And some people still not going to care. And you could tell because they are making things in the lab, diseases and viruses and stuff in the lab. These things aren't even natural, but there are people that are still listening to the government about what we should do about these viruses and diseases. And they're not even thinking about why are these people brewing up these things in the lab anyway, you know, and still go about life like everything's okay. I feel like it's a blockage somewhere, you know, like a deep trance. And so sometimes in my mind, I just refuse to believe that these certain people that wants to follow the government are consciously following the government. I feel like they are asleep. But I'm not really here to work on waking up people to the point where I will get distracted, because there's a lot of other people that's already understanding what's happening. It's like everyone has a biological clock, and you never know when it's going to go off. So these people might be asleep today, but they might have something that happened to them in their life, or run into someone that live differently than them, and they have a conversation and a light bulb may go off. They might listen to a YouTube video. Anything could happen, and it'll change things so quickly. And it won't be everybody, but just one person is a lot. A lot of times we don't really look at the fact that one person waking up could make a big difference, because we don't know who that person is, like spiritually, and how important they may be. So I don't never count anybody out. And a lot of times religion does. I feel like most religious people are the most judgmental people, and they're just quick to like leave people behind. And I'm not saying that I'm trying to be a savior. I just feel like as long as we are focused on ourselves and what our purpose is, that is a big is contributing to other people's awakening and awareness, basically. And the thing about religion, like believing in a God, is like a lot of people will believe in Jesus, the white Jesus, and when they talk of God, they talk about Jesus. And in the Bible, Jesus was the Son of God. They didn't say that Jesus was God, but then it also did say that Jesus was a God. So it's just about terminology and how you want to perceive religion. But usually when someone says that they are religious and they go by titles as of like Christian or Mormon or something like that, it's usually based, the foundation of it is something that was not created by righteousness, basically. And I fully understand this, and so that's why I always say I'm not Christian and all, because I don't want to go by any titles. But I do believe in a higher power. I do know, because I have knowledge of self, I know that I am connected to the divine. And this is what we have to tell ourselves and tell our children. If you're going to go to church, that's fine. But you have to listen to what your pastor is saying. Is your pastor saying certain things that are connected to righteousness and the divine? Or is he just going off of religious content, And a lot of times it's white supremacy based too, because of the fact that religion came whenever the Europeans had invaded the Americas and converted everybody. And being converted from your faith, your God, it will weaken people. It's taking away your protection. And that's what they did to us. When they came into the Americas, we was here. A lot of us was already here. And we traveled. We had plenty of time to travel before they came. So some of us might have been from Africa. Some people say, oh, we're not African. They might have changed their tribe because they moved and integrated with a tribe in the Americas, but they could have originally traveled from Africa, like years back. And yes, it does change a person's identity, so they will no longer be African 4 generations after moving from Africa to the Americas. So now they are considered Native American, the tribe of the natives. But the Africans had their gods. The natives had their gods. And whenever the Europeans came, they converted these set of people. So I feel like it took their protection away because they turned them from themselves, from their divine source. And that's how I feel like they were able to put spells and work dark magic on the people. And that's how we've been in a trance. You know, you have to return back to yourself just to break out of it. That's my take on it. That's how I look at it. And that's what I've gathered. Yeah. But I hope everyone is drinking your water, earthing, loving yourself, meditating, doing your affirmations, and just being, because it's a beautiful thing to be able to rise every morning and set every night. And when we set every night, we should reflect on the day and ask ourselves, what have I done today to improve my future? What have I done today to improve myself? Eating habits, drinking more water today. I drank more water today. That's an accomplishment. We should always congratulate ourselves for our accomplishments. If you struggle with mental disorders, I'm going to do a video on that. If you struggle with mental disorders, you can reflect and say, today I had a good day. I didn't have too many bad thoughts, and then if I did, I was able to redirect them into positive thoughts. So everyone have a good night, and peace and love.